Today we are talking about, is eating too much protein bad for you, and is eating too much protein specifically bad for your kidneys? And you might have heard that before, and I really feel like this started about 25 years ago, so before I was probably thinking much about nutrition. But there was really skepticism about protein, and it came from the bodybuilder trend, and they were doing a lot of questionable things, but one of those were really high protein diets, and they were going for weight loss as well as kind of building up muscle. And so a lot of health experts at that time labeled it unsafe. And over the years, that worry has started to fade, so much so that some experts now who used to say, don't eat so much protein, are actually saying, eat more protein. So it's kind of come full circle. But what about that claim? It's bad for the kidneys, and it is a myth. And here's why. The concern about high protein and kidneys really started because doctors who had poorly functioning kidneys or damaged kidneys would say, we're reducing your protein intake. We want to do a low protein diet. But there is a big difference between avoiding protein because your kidneys are already damaged versus protein for a healthy kidney, if that makes sense. So here's an example. It's really kind of like the difference between jogging with a broken leg and with a perfectly healthy leg. Obviously, jogging with a broken leg is a bad idea, and doctors would probably tell you not to do that. But jogging does not cause legs to break. Does that kind of help you see the difference? That's the same with protein and kidneys. So eating more protein does increase how much your kidneys have to work, just like jogging increases how much your legs have to work, but it doesn't cause kidney damage. So I hope that helps. And there are, in fact, clinical studies that show it's actually quite hard for people to get so much protein in their diet that it's causing any health problems. But how much protein do we actually need? So for an average person eating a standard diet, protein deficiency isn't necessarily a concern, but just because you're not deficient doesn't mean you're at the optimal levels. So for someone who's sedentary, but generally healthy, 2 ounces per meal for someone who weighs 150 pounds is enough to cover those basic daily requirements. But because protein is involved in many essential processes, we might want to up it up if we're training hard, if we have a physical job, if we're injured, sick, if we're recovering from surgery, if we're really trying to lose fat and maintain muscle at the same time, so really trying to maximize muscle, we could go up to 3.5 to 4 ounces per meal if you're a 150-pound person. So if that sounds too complicated, some people like the numbers and some people rather not. So instead, just shoot for 1 to 2 palms full. Generally, what I say is women can do 1 palm full and men can do 2, but adjust that as necessary for your activity, obviously. And you don't try to add that overnight. So if you're like, wow, I'm really not getting anywhere enough, add it slowly. So for example, maybe try to add 1 palm size of protein a day. And then once you get good at that, maybe boost it up to another one. If you're like many people, you get most of your protein at dinner, and you can focus to adding a palm to maybe just breakfast or a palm to maybe just lunch to kind of start. So try it for 2 weeks, see if it's working. And that means you're enjoying it, you're moving closer to goals, you're not really disrupting your life, and then just build on that success. That's how we make lasting progress. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe or follow. Let me know if you have any questions. I usually have some good stuff in the notes, and I will see you next time.